Hi there again, grade 5 and 6 boys and girls. With you once again, I'm Ms. Shamshideen. Now in this session, we're going to be looking at something a little more complicated. We're going to be looking at complex words. Now, what exactly are complex words? Now, in that term, you hear complex, and the word complex lives up to its name as it contains multiple parts. In English grammar and word study, a complex word is a word made up of two or more morphemes or word parts. A complex word may contain a base word or root word, one or more affixes, and these affixes are suffixes, prefixes, or inflectional endings, or more than one root in its compound state. So today, we will revisit our story, A Kitchen Garden, and we will examine it to see what complex words were used and how they were formed. Were they formed using root words and affixes, or were they formed using two base or root words? Let's find out. So we're now going to read the entire passage, but we are simply going to look at it slide by slide, and we're going to try to identify our complex words. Now remember I said a complex word can be formed by a base word and an affix or more than one affixes, or it can be formed by two base words. So from the first slide, we have the words boasted, intervene, and weekend. Do you see those words? Boasted, intervene, weekend. We also have the word situated, friends, and work. But we're going to be examining just a few of them a little more. On our second slide, we have the word drains, planting, transplanted, selected, sunlight. We have the words drains, permanently, planting, transplanting, sunlight, selected. On our third slide, you have the words neighborhood, ourself. Now, let's examine how complex these words really are. But before, let's just list the words that we will be examining more directly. For slide 1, we're going to look at the words boasted, intervened, weekends. Slide 2, boxes, sunlight, transplanted. And slide 3, neighborhood, ourselves. So let's go. Now, for words that were made by using a base word and inflectional ending, we have boasted, intervened, and boxes. Now, there you would see boast being the base word and ed being the inflectional ending. Intervene being the base word and ed being the inflectional ending. Box being the base word and es being the inflectional ending. For those that were formed with the base word and the suffix, we have the word permanently. Now remember, even though inflectional endings are also considered to be suffixes, we will look more at those where the part of speech was changed, or we could say the word function. So we have the word permanently. Okay, so the base word being permanent and ly there being the suffix. Now, let's look at this word, transplanted. Now, if you examine this word carefully, you would realize that transplanted is really, in the sense, a complex word. It is made up of a prefix, a base word, and an inflectional ending. The prefix being trans, and trans meaning to move. The base word in the word transplanted being plant, and ed being the inflectional ending. So this word can actually be broken into three parts. We have the prefix, the base word, and the inflectional ending. So that in its sense is really a complex word. Now, for the next class of complex words, we have those that are formed with two root words or two base words. We have words like weekends. Now, if you look at weekends in itself, even though it is made up of two base words, it also has an inflectional ending. Sunlight. We have sun and light. Those two words, if separated, can stand by themselves. So they are considered base words. So we have sunlight being another complex word in the passage. Neighborhood. We have neighbor from that, and we have hood. Again, both of those words will have their meanings separately. Ourselves. In itself, our is a word, and selves being the plural of the word self. So there we have a few examples of complex words that were used in our passage. So you will understand that while we are reading and the words might just seem to be a word, understanding how the words are made up or how they are formed is very, very important. Now that we've examined those complex words, let's look at this short passage and identify a few more. So, grab your pencil to write as you see them. Again, I will give you 90 seconds on the clock. You are to look at the passage, well, scan it, read it through if you can in the 90 seconds, and write each complex word that you come across. Your time begins now. Now, what complex words did you find in the passage? Well, if we were to read it entirely, it might take longer. But as we scan, let's look at the first line. In the first line, we have the word Portland. Filled. In the second line, worried. Mainland. In the third line, we have winding. The fourth, park house. The fifth, lighthouse and silhouette. In the sixth, shoreline. The seventh, assaulted. Eighth, readjusted. And the ninth, or the last line, we have beautiful and afternoon. Now let's look at these words again. The word Portland. Portland is made up of two based words, being port and land, two words that can stand on their own. Filled is made up of a base word and an inflectional ending. Worried is made up of a base word which had to be altered because in its original state it ends with Y. And so the Y had to be changed to I and then ed was added. Mainland. Again, main by itself is a base word and land being another. So two base words there coming together to make the complex word mainland. Or we can say also a compound word. Winding. We have a base word and inflectional ending. Park house, two base words as well. Lighthouse, two base words. Silhouetted. We have base word and inflectional ending. Shoreline, two base words. Assaulted, base word and inflectional ending. When we look at readjusted, we have here prefix, base word, and inflectional ending. Re being the prefix, which means to do over, adjust, which is the base word, and ed being the inflectional ending. Beautiful. Again, we have the base word and a suffix. Beauty being the base word and full being our suffix. Afternoon. Two base words, after and noon. Both of those can stand by themselves. Well, be sure to look for other words and examine them to determine whether they are complex or not, or what makes those that are complex. Now, in looking at complex words, you may also want to review compound words. That's the end of another session. I am sure that your understanding and word knowledge has been extended. Until next time, this is goodbye.